If the opportunity was to present itself.
I think this is an interesting one. If you can get a copy of this, try to. There's not a lot. It came out and then was it.
What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment. As always, please hit that subscribe button. It's right down there and it's free. That enables us to keep coming to you guys as often as possible with as many interviews as possible. So please hit that subscribe button, like our content, share it, talk about it, be about it, each one, teach one. We appreciate you guys supporting getting us this far. Now, today we have the honor and privilege of being joined by D.O.C. Thank you for coming through, sir.
Peace, peace. How you doing, brother?
Man, it's always good to see you, man. And Today for cover story, D.O.C. has selected a rare 45-inch release. So D.O.C., break this one down, show it to the people so they see what's happening.
Okay, so this was called D.O.C. presents DJ Premier versus Pete Rock. It was on Redef Records, put it out a couple of years ago. They did the artwork. It's a super dope cover. It has a lot of artwork inside of it. Very dope, but as soon as we put it out, then there was a problem. And the problem was DJ Premier. So he didn't want his likeness, I guess, on this particular cover or to be paid, or I don't know, because I let him, this was just a one-off deal that I did with Redef. And it was like 445s of all of the records that I had did with Premier and Rock, on each 45. So we put it out. It was out for maybe, I don't know, about a month or so, and then done. So that's an interesting, I think this is an interesting one. If you can get a copy of this, try to. There's not a lot. It came out and then was it.
So when something like that happens, how does that affect your plans? Because you put out so much material over the years, and like that, if it's a one-off, how does that work business-wise with what your next moves were going to be?
It really didn't affect anything because it was a different company that put it out. So if it was me doing it myself, then it would have had a bigger effect. I think it affected the company a lot more. Shout out to Damu and Redef Records, because they invested a lot of money into it, and then they had to, shut it down. I just got an email from Premier with the cover like, yo. And I'm like, well, here's the guy's email who put it out. And that was it. Then I got an email from him, and it was like, yo, that's it. We're just going to shut it down. Whatever's out is out. We're going to sell. And I didn't even ask him what the conversation was with Premier.
So why not?
I mean, obviously, if they were shutting it down, I pretty much know what the conversation was in some, shape, form, or fashion. So, I mean, it was that. So, I mean, it really didn't affect me. But like I said, I think it affected the company. So, companies out there, if you're thinking about doing deals with artists and different things like that for one-offs, make sure, you have everybody's full consent to use the likeness, just in case you're thinking about it. I didn't have a problem. Pete didn't have a problem. I just think that, Preem did, or his management or somebody.
So back to the actual illustration itself, do you remember how whoever did the artwork, how that came about, and why that ended up being the cover instead of taking pictures, or instead of, hey, Premier, I need a picture. Hey, Pete Rock, I need a picture. Why'd you guys do it?
Yeah, I think the artwork was better because it's more collectible than just a picture. When we do, projects, especially now being an underground artist, we like to make things, more collectible and things that are not just, regular shit, basically. So, excuse me, I don't know if I can curse, but we don't like to do regular thing. So we wanted to have artwork. It has a bunch of artwork throughout it. It's a 4-panel, so it has different, artworks inside. So it was pretty dope.
And speaking of making it collectible, 45s are even different than 12 inches. So conceptually, what made you want to explore doing a project of 45s versus 12 inches?
Well, it's cheaper, for one thing. And people don't really do 12 inches too much anymore. I haven't actually seen a 12-inch in years. I don't know who's pressing, because the pressing plants with it takes so long nowadays because there's so few. So it's about a 4-month turnaround. And, you don't want to, for that, you might as well press an album and get more money, more bang for your buck than just a 12-inch. You really aren't going to make any money off 12 inches like that. And it costs more to press up 4 12 inches. You could do 4 albums for that same type of, you know what I mean? So just financially, it's just a better move.
Yeah, it's always amazing how much, when people think about music, they just think, oh, the artist just makes it. But there's so much of the business, of the music business. And I imagine it's even more pronounced on the independent level because there's the margins may be higher, but then the expense is also probably higher.
Yeah, the expense for vinyl is pretty significant. I think around $3,800 for about 500 pieces. So, you don't want to do 500 12 inches at that price. You know what I mean? You'll rather do 500 albums so you can make more money off of it. But I think it gives you, a more business sense of how it really works and the behind the scenes of how it functions and how you can make your own thing work for you. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So since you've put out so much material and that this Pete Rock and Premiere thing got shut down, when you think back to it, like what's kind of the legacy of that cover in your overall history?
I think it will be kind of slept on because it came out and then went. Didn't get the promo. We didn't get to do everything we needed to do for it. So I think it'll be like a hidden gem, one of those things that people are like, yo, damn, maybe I didn't even know about this. Wow, 445s. So especially for collectors and DJs, that's something that they would all like to have in their arsenal.
Yeah. And then on the business side of things, when you're making something, being that you've been on major labels and you've been on independent labels now for so long, knowing that there's a cap or they're only going to make 500 or 1,000 or 4,000 or whatever the number is, does that ever affect you creatively? Or?
No. Definitely not. Because if you blow through whatever the cap is and it's selling, then you just make more, So there's always, the ceiling is never, just there. So no, I think it doesn't. I think it gives us way more freedom creatively to do it and put it out as we choose or with who we choose to do deals with. There's no restrictions on us like if you were with a major label, you know what I mean? So there's pros and cons, obviously.
All right. Well, there it is, Ed O.G. Well, thanks for coming through the cover story, man. Really appreciate it.
No doubt.